I wanted to show a quick video here. I added the Inficon DTek Stratus to my leak detector report of 20 different leak detectors. And this is not a cheap leak detector, it's pretty high dollar. But I've tested parts per million sensitivity on both R410A and R22. And it's kind of nice that this one actually shows you the parts per million. So it verified my test method that I've been using for years, actually probably 5 years. I've tested 20 different leak detectors and made a report here. And so I showed a sensitivity for the R22, which is green, and the 410A of the different gases, or the different leak detectors, that is, for the two gases. I also test R134 on some of them, but I don't really deal with that much. So it turns out the D-Tek Select, which is their older leak detector, gets 5 parts per million. This Stratus gets 4 parts per million, so it's slightly better, but it's still an H10 Pro is 1 parts per million, which is kind of crappy on 410A, but 1/10 part per million on 22. And this is the main reason why I literally spent $10,000 and bought all these leak detectors and tested them, including one of them was like an $8,000 leak detector. I bought it used, and just to find something decent that would work for the 410A. So it still doesn't compare with the SRL8, you know, and that's the Fieldpiece SRL8. Still get about 0.2 sensitivity, and so I'm getting 4. So SRL8 is still about 8 times more sensitive, but it is really squirrely, and I'll show you because I'm going to show you a quick, easy way to tell sensitivity on your leak detector using a Yellow Jacket HFC test, refrigerant test. So let me show you here. Okay, so this is the SRL8. I'm going to go to super mode, which is more sensitive on the Inficon. And this is an easy, quick way. I'm going to put the link to my report, which I used to sell, but I'm just giving it away now. And I'll have it in the description. You can actually get the report, and then you can also get links to the videos, which I have of the various leak detectors. But here's a cool way to tell on HFC. So it turns out there's no one leak detector that works on both 22 and 410A. So for 22, most of them work. Like I just use an Inficon. This is the PerkMate, but the TechMate I think is also the same leak detector. Really sensitive. It's 0.05 parts per million. For R22, it basically goes bananas on 1 pound leaks, 3 feet away from the leak. So for 22, you use just anything really. It doesn't matter which one you use. 410A was that's the harder refrigerant to check. And so this Yellow Jacket, this part number, I bought this for like $5. It has a gel which releases HFC refrigerant, which is your 410A or your 134. There's your part number there if you want to see. It gives you a really quick test. And so the JB Prowler will pick this thing up about a 1/4 inch away. The SRL8 will pick it up a 1/2 inch away. Watch. Actually, I have it on mute. Okay, the higher pitch is the SRL8. So you can see about a 1/2 inch away. Now one thing that's really annoying on the SRL8, it picks up everything. Like breath. See, it goes crazy on your breath. So you have to watch when you're leak checking, you're not breathing, you know, where you think the leak is, because you're definitely going to be chasing your tail on phantom leaks. I'll usually check something I know that's not leaking when I'm leak checking, like this book, for example. I know this book's not leaking. So I'll go around and check it and notice I'm not getting hits on the book. And then when I get to the leak, I'm like, yeah. And then, you know, you check things that you know are not leaking, and that way you can work through the squirreliness of this leak detector, but it's super sensitive. I put the blue painter's tape on there. It's picking up my breath now. Yeah, actually it doesn't. I drank a beer, which definitely makes this thing go even more crazy. So your Inficon is going to be a lot less sensitive to breath. You see, it's not picking up, well, a little bit. It's probably picking up the beer. So, see the difference. Actually, I was not. It's like it doesn't even pick up the reference leak. And this leak's been open for about an hour, so it's able to kind of lower parts per million. It barely picks it up. Barely picks it up. So the SRL8 tests to 8 times more sensitive than the Inficon. And this is, I can buy 8 of these leak detectors on eBay for the same price as one of these. One thing, you do want to change the sensor on this thing yearly. When this leak detector starts acting nice and starts not false hitting, that means you need to replace the sensor. Because when the sensor is new, it runs hot and it runs just squirrely as hell. It's kind of annoying to use. I'm still looking for a better leak detector, but there's not one in the world that's available, and I've tested them all. There's a Testo which is similar to this, but this one is better for finding the leaks. I've tried the Testo in the field. It was like the Testo 316-4 has similar sensitivity, actually better sensitivity, but this one seems to pick up leaks, and I don't miss leaks at all now using this leak detector. So to sum up, you're not going to find 1 pound per year leaks with this. It's 8 times less sensitive, but it is real stable. It's definitely good for commercial. The parts per million is really nice when you have big gushers. I have other techniques I use. Let me turn this stuff off. I show a bunch of videos in the report for leak checking, but basically up to 10 pounds per year per leak, I use a sniffer. If it's 22, I use a 22 sniffer. For 410A, I only use the SRL8. If I'm picking up a leak 6 feet away, I'm not even going to bother using a sniffer because I know it's a gusher. I'll switch to infrared, which is listening for the hiss. And of course, if you can hear the hiss with your ears, you're probably 100 pounds per year leak, you know, a huge leak. Which on a residential system, you know, you're going to be out of gas in like 2 days. And so I use the ultrasonic for the large leaks. In between 10 and 20 pounds, those are kind of the hardest leaks for me to find, and I usually have to run a fan to get the air moving around. And but for a 10 to 20 pound per year leak, your infrareds might actually work. I don't really, I don't like it. I like to be able to know if I got small leaks. But bear in mind, here's advice about leaks. Every system leaks. There's no such thing as a tight system. They're all going to be flat in 1,000 years or 10,000 years. It's just the molecules, they find places to get out. It's impossible to have 0 leaks. You just have to care about the leaks that matter. On a 100-pound system, a 1 pound per year leak, what is that going to be? 30 years and they're going to be low? It's not, you know, worth it on the really small leaks on the really big systems. On a refrigerator, which is a ½ pound charge, you're gonna need super sensitivity, and you're not gonna get better sensitivity than this guy. And so, but that's basically summarized. I'll have the link to my report in the bottom of the description there. Hope you like watching the video. Thanks for watching.